Okay, guys, it's Red here again. This is not a format that I'm used to. This is the first time I've ever tried screen sharing or doing a video like this, but this is a good one, right? So we're going to get you to Vietnam, and we're going to get you to Vietnam through an e-visa, which is a very simple process, but there are some places where it can be a little confusing if you haven't done it before, and you might be a little scared you're doing it wrong. So if you were like me. So we're starting out here. I've gone ahead and done this already so that I could show you every screen that you're going to see as you do this. So the reason that this is important is once you submit your information, there is no going back. You have to start over. Now, these things are only $25 for a 3-month like e-visa to Vietnam, so you can roam about Vietnam for 3 months, 90 days technically, before you have to leave and then reapply. Now, this process takes 3 to 5 days, so don't expect to leave, apply for your e-visa and return in less than a week, I would say, to give it a week. And I am a week out from having to return to Vietnam, getting to return to Vietnam, where I call home. And so I went ahead and took care of this today. So this screen here shows you what you'll see at the National Web Portal on Immigration. Now, you can go several places if you just type in on the internet, and they will take you to a place that will get you set up and get you processed, and they will charge you an extra fee for no real reason. This is easy enough. If you can give them all the information that they need, you can enter it in. So I'm going to bypass that and get you into Vietnam for 25 bucks. Okay, so here we go. So once you click on this part here, which is the e-visa, right, it's going to take you to this page here. Now, this page here, I am going to share a direct link with. So you click on the link that I provide, it'll take you directly to this page. You don't have to worry about anything else. You just start applying for your visa. And so simple things like this, where you have to go and find your go and find your picture and place it in there, right? So boom, there's me. I'm not going to upload my passport here, but I'm going to show you some of these other things. So surname, of course, this is your last name, and this will be confusing later because Vietnam kind of does it a little backward when they actually say your name or show your name how it's printed. So just be sure if you put your last name in here where it says surname, you're good. And then given name, and this is important to know that on anything that you put in here, you want it to exactly match what is on your passport, right? So if you have as your given name on your passport, if it shows your first and middle name spelled all the way out, you'll want to do that. You definitely don't want a mismatch in what you put in here and what shows up on your passport, okay? Date of birth. So this is the thing about this is I would go into the calendar. This is one of the reasons I recommend not using your phone for this process. It's way too clunky, and you will get lost in some of this form, and you can end up missing a field or filling out a field a little differently, like I caught myself doing. And anyway, when you do that, you just don't want it to get rejected for any reason, right? So here it's important to know that they do the day first and then the month when they are putting the date together. So I just think it's easier to go in and select your year first. And if you see how this is navigated, you can see why it would be so hard to do on your phone because of having to kind of scroll to the right year. I'm not going to give you everything here. I'm just going to make up, let's pretend I was September 4th, 1974. So September 4th, okay? And then a place of birth, this is going to be on your passport, okay? And you'll put it in as it is on your passport. So for me, it is Florida, USA, right? So here I would type in Florida, USA. Actually, I think it has a comma in there. I do it exactly, right? And then you specify male or female, your current nationality. This is the nationality of your passport. So mine is United States of America. Religion, I just put none. ID card number, this is where you'll type in whatever it is your passport number is. That is not mine. Here you'll type in your email, email@email.com. There we go. Have you ever used any other passports to enter into Vietnam? No. Oh, given name, we'll just put Wally World. How about that? I grew up in Bentonville, Arkansas, so Walmart is Wally World. Anyway, do you have multiple nationalities? Like, obviously, this is something you'll have to take a look at. Excellent latte. All right, and so I'm just doing a single entry visa, and again, these are 90 days, so my day is going to be October the 4th, and I know when my return date is because I just did it, but let's just say I go out 3 months away and I put, oh, okay, 3 months, I'll put January 3rd. It will let you know that you have exceeded the 90 days, right? So 31 days in some months, so I'll just back it down a day and that disappears. Okay, so my day that I leave Vietnam will be January the 2nd. Most of us are just going to have an ordinary passport, right? And so again, you'll enter that passport number, which may be the same thing as you entered up above. Oops, up above. 338, boom, 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 boom. Issuing authority. If you're in the United States, it's the United. This is on your passport, right? So you want to put it exactly as it is. Department of State. That's the issuing authority. Date of issue, again, you want to just kind of pick the date of issue and then the date of, expiration, and make sure you got those years right, so make sure everything's right. Here you've got, I did put a permanent residential address here in the United States of America, but it doesn't have the red star next to it, so I'm not sure you have to have that, but why not, right? Contact address, I left blank. Emergency contact, this is important. I used my sister, and I put in her, her address, North Parkway, I don't know, it's just made up. And her telephone number, I went ahead and put the +1 in there, and then boom, 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 and just put in that this is my sister. Okay, you don't need anything in the occupation field. Purpose of entry, keep it simple, just keep it at tourism. And you see all these other different things here. If you've got something special going on, then you can put something different in there. But for those of you who are just kind of going there, tourism, they have things about hosting. That's a different animal altogether. You probably don't need that. Intended length of stay, I stretched that to 90 days. Gave them my intended date of entry, and here allowed entry through checkpoints. So I'm in Chiang Mai, and for some reason I can get into Vietnam by going through Hanoi, but I leave Vietnam through Ho Chi Minh City. So I just find the Hanoi, this is the airport there, Noi Bai International Airport, and when I leave, I will leave through Ho Chi Minh City Airport, right? But you'll want to know where it is you're actually leaving out of. I have an address there. This can be the hotel that you've set up to stay at, but you do want to do this in advance. And you'll choose your province. So the province I'm going to is Lam Dong, which is where Dalat, Vietnam is. Excellent, amazing city. And I do have a Vietnam phone number. Again, I would do the the country code and then the number. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Have you been to Vietnam in the last 1 year? If this is your first time, then no. Me, this is my third time. And so I put in the other 2 times that I have been, and the purpose I put was tourism. So the from and the to, and you can find this in your passport. So you'll put the date. Again, I wouldn't type the date in. You could very easily get that month and date transposed. So go in and select it manually here, right? So boom, 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 no, boom. Anyway, I don't really even have to put that in there, so I'll just leave it blank for you guys, but you get the idea. No relatives who currently live inside. Intended expenses, I just put $1,500 a month, so I just put $4,500 in US dollars, and I am the guy that's going to cover those expenses, and I'm going to do it with cash. Just about everything in Vietnam is cash right away, unless you have a local bank account. I do have health insurance. I recommend that, and I just put in the name of my plan, Blue Voyager. I can't remember something else, but anyway, I have everything's correct, and I put in the CAPTCHA, and then I click Review Application Form. Okay, and so this is where I'm going to leave this screen here and go back to my slides. So once you've completed this form and you click the Review Application Form, it will pull up this page here. And this is where it kind of gets a little bit confusing, is the back and forth communication. So now it says successfully completed, and it gives you a registration code with your email, date of birth, your passport number, all of that stuff. And you think, wow, that looks official. I guess I'm done. No. This only means that you filled out all the necessary fields for this to go forward to processing. Okay, so when you click OK here, it will take you to a page where you can review all of the information that you put in, right? So your surname and your given name. And notice that this does show, I'm going to blur that out, but this does show everything the way that it's supposed to be. And so you know that you've entered it in correctly. It continues down to this page. This is the bottom of that page, and here's where you'll click payment. Okay, when you click payment, this is going to trigger an email that confirms that you have entered in all the information for your Visa, and that is that, right? If you need to make any changes, you have to do it on these screens here. Once you're done with this, you have to either abandon what you're doing before you make payment and start over again, or you're stuck with what you've entered here, okay? So this email will generate automatically, and again, it's going to give you a registration code, which you'll need to check your status and to eventually download your Visa. Okay, so this just shows that that is on the way, and now it says you're ready for step 2. You have to pay the Visa fee. So again, $25 for single entry. If you want to go in and out of Vietnam freely over the 90 days, you can get a multiple entry visa. Otherwise, you can leave and then get another e-visa to come back in. If you wanted to just do the 25, and then you decided later, I need to leave and I'll come back. So, and this also gives you this link right here, which is the one to check your Visa results. And then this link here is for support. Now, I have used this link to ask a question that I later had to get on my own because they never contacted me back. So that happens, okay? So again, this was something I wanted to change the dates, and you know, you can't change anything. I found that out, you know, later on my own. But this right here will get your results. It's important because they let you know that they're not going to let you know automatically through an email. We'll get to that, whether you were approved or not. Okay, so you get this email, and then back to our our other screen, right? So that was just to show you again. So we were on this screen here, and we went to payment, and I just wanted to show you that this email right here generates. Okay, but after we click payment, it will go right here, right? So payment details, and here's where it says full name. First name, middle name, last name. And it gave me last name, first name, middle name. And this is where that surname and given name thing can kind of confuse you, but you haven't done anything wrong. So that's the reason I wanted to share that. Again, all your passport number, registration code, date of birth, everything there, and the amount of 25 USD, and gives you the exchange rate. And so you want to select agree and click pay e-visa fee. Okay. When you click pay e-visa fee, it takes you to this confirmation screen where it's going to tell you you have to agree to this payment, which you think maybe you just did. But this has some other things too. So number one here is, according to regulations, your e-visa result will not be provided via email. Okay, to check your e-visa result, follow these steps. Okay, and so I'm going to show you these steps. However, the last time I did this, I did get an email. All right, and I'll show you that. But and it said that I was approved. Okay, so but the first time I did it, it did not provide me an email letting me know. I had to keep checking through this manual method. This is that same link that I showed you on the previous email, right? So you click on that, and then you enter the provided information, which will be that registration code that starts with an E and is a long number, and your email and your birth date, right? So those three things are going to get you the information, whether it says it's in processing or declined or approved or whatever, right? And then finally, whenever it is approved, you'll download and print it out. Okay. Now, this also says that it tells you that your payment status may take a minute to update, especially on the weekends. It may not update, right? So this is why I recommend 7 days before you come back, do this at least 7 days before you go to Vietnam, and it should give you enough time, right? So if your payment is declined for any reason at all, you put in the wrong information or whatever, then it will, you'll have to start over again completely, okay? So now I say that they may allow you to do the payment and keep the same Visa registration, but it'll start that time process over again, so another 3 to 5 days. And here it says, normally processed within 3 working days after the Visa fee has been paid with sufficient and valid information. Okay, so let's assume all this is good, and you click agree, okay? This is now this is an example of, I did get your application processed, right? I did not get this the first time, so I cannot verify that this is always going to be here, but I can verify you can always check your results, okay? So let's check that out. Okay, but after you click that payment, it says payment success. Okay, that just means that, and then this triggers another email. So this email will give you the payment confirmation, and again, it gives you the registration code and the amount that you processed. Right, so this is just proof that you did make a payment, and it says it was successful. So, all right, now this is in that same payment confirmation email. You scroll down a little bit, and again, important information about how long it may take. This is also gives you that link again. So anything that you get from them in an email is going to have this link that you go to, right? And generally, it's going to have your registration number in the subject of the email. Okay, so let's just say that you've processed this and you want to check and see where you're at, where your status is. Well, you click on that link I just showed you and you paste in your registration code, the e-number with all the numbers, and then you your email address, and of course go in and put your birth date, hit that CAPTCHA, and go search. Okay, so when you go search, it will look like maybe nothing has happened, except because this page will not change except this blue box will pop up. So in some instances, you'll have to scroll down. You'll think, oh, search, 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 because it doesn't take you to a different page. It just loads this little box underneath it. And so in this instance, this says application status is in processing, right? So I have gotten that ball on the way. However, I pulled up one of my old ones, my last one that I did, and it will show, because I wanted to show you a couple of things. Number one, this is application status, and it says Evisa is expired. And the other one said in processing. So you will find an approved modem. Now, another thing that's different is this click here to print Visa. So if I go back a screen, you see that wasn't there. So I go to this screen, and it allows you to click that button, and it'll download the Visa in a printable file. Now, you can print that if you want to. I'd recommend go ahead doing it, but when you come into the country, the form works fine. It's got a scan. It's able to be scanned and viewed, and so you don't have to worry about that. But you're looking for approved here on application status and the little icon to print. And this is what the form looks like, right? So you've done everything successful. This is your actual Visa form, right? And so it's got, the scannable code down here and the information that gives you the idea of when you're coming in and when you're leaving. Okay, so that is it for that process. So again, Vietnam, $25 gets you 90 days, and you can do this as many times in the year as you want, right? So when you leave, of course, you've got to stay gone for the amount of time it takes to reprocess your e-visa. The last time I did it, I was 7 days outside of Vietnam. I went through customs, and as I was sitting waiting for my plane to board, I filled out all the information. Probably could have sent it then because I was technically an international, I'd been checked out of the country at that point. So I was technically an international guy, but I left it there, took the plane. As soon as I landed from the Bangkok airport, I went in and reviewed the form and submitted it, and got my information back on day 5. Right, so you do want to give it that full week and take into account if there is a holiday where the government might be closed. You might even want to give it that extra day. Okay, so I hope this has helped you. I don't think I left anything out. I do have this form here that gives some important notes and things that you want to have together before you sit down in front of the computer to do this. And just, again, pretty simple process, but you want to make sure that you have the information correct, okay? So let me know what you like about this video. If you do like it, again, this is my first time doing a video like this, so I hope it was helpful. And if you have any other questions on this process, just feel free to let me know. Again, Red, coming at you, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again. Bye. Oh, and why don't you like and subscribe to my channel, right? I've got a lot of Thailand content still to come, and I'm always putting out Vietnam content too, and I don't know where I'll end up next, possibly Cambodia, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, we don't know. So anyway, hit me up and give me any type of input that you'd like, okay? Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you later.